So you've decided on building a custom home in Augusta. Well, if you caught our last video, we talked about what does it take to build your dream home here, and one of the first steps is finding a builder. So hold on to your hats, because tonight we're interviewing Brian Hall with Oakdale Custom Homes, and we're starting right now. With Georgia Coast Homes and Keller Williams in Augusta, Georgia, and today we're doing our follow-up video, the first in a series of some of the great custom builders we have in Augusta. And today I'm interviewing Brian Hall with Oakdale Custom Homes. So we're gonna get started. We decided we were gonna open a bottle of Pinot Noir, so just to get a little sauced up and a little more comfortable. And I am so glad that you're here, Brian. Thank you for
coming. Glad to be here. Yep.
Tell us a little bit about your background.
Graduated from Lakeside High School, went to Georgia Southern, played baseball, got a civil engineering degree. When I graduated from college, I got a job in Atlanta working for a engineering firm. And we design built athletic facilities.
Really?
Yes, we design built the Georgia Dome, Turner Field.
Whoa.
Yes, and they were going to send me on assignment to Vero Beach, Florida. It was a design build for the Dodgers spring training facility.
Oh my gosh.
But that's when I was in love with my wife. We were dating in Atlanta at the time, and they were going to send me on assignment. And I said, no, she got a job with John Deere to transfer back. And I said, let's go back to Augusta. So we moved back here. I went to work for a road building company, building roads and bridges, and worked with them for about 3 years. And always wanted to build custom houses. Always wanted to build houses in general, and got an opportunity to build houses, and I jumped on it, and the rest is history.
I know a little bit about Brian and that he's a bit of a history buff. So what is it that attracts you to different homes, and are there particular styles that you like to build?
I really like to build the low country, the coastal, southern style houses. That's what attracts me the most, but we will build anything.
So explain low country, because I didn't know what low country was when I first moved here.
Just the big open porches, a lot of windows, doorways, double doorways, that sort of thing. You see them a lot in Charleston and Savannah.
And I know, I've noticed here that a lot of the low country style, ever since I started talking to you, I now see it everywhere. And I noticed there's a lot of this really contrasting brick and some really interesting paint colors. Is that something that is typical, or is that a newer trend in the style?
No, that's something, we do a lot of painted brick. There's a lot of houses we'll brick and we'll paint the whole house. We use a lot of antique brick, reclaimed brick, if we can find it. A lot of shiplap, a lot of, I like to do a lot of brick on the inside of the house. Accents on walls, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I love those old, almost like that archway. I'm starting to see it in shows a lot, but like an archway of brick over the oven.
Yep.
As like a feature point. What's your process about developing like the back of the house and like the outside spaces?
Well, I like to try to do like an outdoor kitchen on the back, or some sort of just outdoor living space. I had my prior personal home, we put it on the market, and 3 days later it was under contract. And when we showed up to the house, the buyers were sitting on the back porch, because I did this big outdoor kitchen. They were just sitting there, and when they were sitting there on the back porch, they told us, they said, this is what sold it. So It's the outdoor, the rear outdoor living area.
I love it. And it's warm enough here for long enough in the season that you can enjoy your outdoor spaces for a long time.
Right.
So tell me, when somebody comes to me and says, Kimberly, I'm not seeing anything that I like, and I'm just wondering if I should think about building a custom home, what's the process that they need to go through? And I'm sure you see different ways about going about it, but what would they need to do?
Well, the first thing is they need a plan or a vision, and then they can bring it to us. And then, of course, picking out a lot. Once we have a lot picked out, then I like to walk the lot with the customer and kind of see what's involved in the placement of the house on the lot, what's going to be involved in getting utilities from the street to the house. And that will take care of the infrastructure part of it. Then of course you got the interior finishes. So that's another aspect. And then we would just go through and sit down and just get an idea of what they want and itemize a cost list for them. And then we would just take it from there.
And that gets to my next question, which is, what is the process? So they come to you, and do you want them to come with all their decisions made up front, including the finishes, or
the process runs a lot smoother if they have everything picked out ahead of time. But that being said, majority of the customers I deal with, they kind of, they know what they want, they just don't have it picked out. They kind of see it in a picture, but they don't know where to go, and that's where we assist them and where to go pick it out, how to finalize it, and put it down on paper. And seeing it go from paper to a reality is something that's really inspiring.
I love that. So have you ever worked with an interior designer or someone that walks somebody through apart from your own team?
I have a few in the past, but for the most part, my wife, she helps me a lot with that. Also, the homeowner they take it and they run with it. But I have worked with several interior designers in the past.
And you mentioned earlier to me that you often use them on spec homes. Can you tell me what a spec home is?
A spec home is basically where you take a lot and you just build a house based on, if you have a neighborhood that has a need for a house, you build a 4,000 or 5,000 square foot house. You go in and take a designer, and that's where I would bring a designer in, to let them just pick out all the finishes. I would do the building and let them say, hey, I want this house to accommodate a either empty nester or a first time home buyer or a second or third tier home buyer, and they would design it to meet those needs.
There's lots of land in Columbia County still to be had, don't you think, in terms of finding a lot? And what do you think somebody should be looking for an ideal lot?
There is a lot of land in Columbia County. I would probably try to look for the two biggest things that I personally look for would be county water and county sewer. That being said, it depends on how big of an acreage lot you want. If you want a 2 to 3 acre lot, you could find that all day long on county water and county sewer. If you want a 50 acre lot, that might be a little tougher. But there's available land around Columbia County in the CSRA.
And are there some restrictions around lots? Because I know people have sent me land and said, well, here's land and it's in a community like Bell Tower, or it's in like a developer already owns it and there are some requirements. What do those requirements look like?
Well, that's all developer, depicted. They will tell you what the requirements are, and they have their own standards. But that being said, if the developer can tell, I probably could have the ability to build in a Bell Tower or other developments as well.
But are there particular square footage requirements? Is there a particular style of house that?
There usually is in every development.
Okay.
And I don't know what the specifics are for Bell Tower.
Right.
But
well, I think that's actually on my end more my responsibility. So if you're looking for land, that's where I come in. We help locate a piece of land if you haven't already found one, and we figure out if there are any kind of requirements, and if they don't fit what you want to build, that may not be the neighborhood you want to be in. And when people work with you specifically, what are they getting?
They are getting hands-on experience. I've built. I've never wanted to say it's all about me, because there's a lot of moving parts and there's a big team involved, and I have a lot of vendors and trade partners that are involved. That without them, I could not, make it happen. But what they are getting is a custom experience that, from start to finish, that if they want to make a change or have any issues, that we can make it happen. So.
And when they call you, right?
Correct.
You're the direct contact.
That's correct. Yeah.
What are you seeing is the price to build per square foot?
Anywhere from $150 a square foot to pushing, $200 a square foot. It all depends on the site and the interior finishes.
And so then some people are probably thinking, well, gosh, that might be too expensive, but what really goes into that? I mean, it really depends on the price of the lot, right, and
Correct.
the house.
That's right. It's twofold. The site, which includes the site prep and then the interior finishes. So, yeah, it goes hand in hand, correct.
So that's very interesting. So it's really important to keep in mind that when you're wanting to select a piece of land, if you're trying to keep it under budget, you've got to look at the budget on the land and the budget on the house, and then where else can those prices soar? Because I know you sort of alluded to it earlier, but where else can we go a little crazy with the prices?
You can go crazy with all sorts of things. The site work is the big thing, and the interior finishes, of course, is the other thing. If you have the bigger the lot, if you push the house off the street, the paved road, that makes a huge difference. So that's where the majority of the costs are.
Okay, so what is the craziest thing that somebody has ever asked you, or the strangest thing asked you to build?
Nothing really over the top crazy, but I did have a guy ask me to build a bunch of little tables in every room in this renovation project, and come to find out he had a specific height and width that he wanted me to build, and it was for him to sit his beer on. So
did he have a TV in every room?
No, he didn't. Some of them it was outside too, on his deck. Like on the deck, it was up at the lake. He just wanted a place to sit his beer, and he never told me what it was for until we were through.
Oh my gosh!
It was funny. It was actually pretty cool.
That's pretty funny. One of the things that I love about working with Brian is that no job is too small. So not only is he building custom homes, but you're willing to kind of work on all kinds of different projects.
Correct. We do a lot of renovation work for rental houses. If you have an Airbnb, traveling nurses rental, we go in and renovate the whole house, anywhere from just a straight maintenance contractor, or if you want to do interior painting or just gut the whole thing and redo it, do an addition, we do it all.
So footage throughout this video is of one house in particular, and that is of Amanda Alfred's house.
Correct.
And there's some specific special accommodations in that house. You're able to do all kinds of things just to make the house easier for the homeowner.
Right. That house, it's 100% ADA compliant. Even from the front door to the mailbox is ADA compliant. It's got an elevator in it. All the doors are ADA compliant. But it was a fun build. It's a really nice house.
Tell me what makes a custom home builder like yourself different from buying a new construction with a national builder?
You get the opportunity to pick out and be a part of the whole process from start to finish. And you also have the ability to call me 24/7. If there's an issue, pick up the phone. You can text me, call me, and you kind of get to see your dream go from a vision to paper to reality. Mm-hmm. And that is the biggest difference. Instead of just walking up and buying a house, here we are. This is my dream home. I want to see it go from in my mind to paper to reality to actually living in it. I wake up every day, and if I can go to a job and I can see the smile on their face when they see that we accomplished something that made them, this is what they were wanting all their life, and then we actually made it happen. That's the biggest thing that inspires me.
Well, this has been such a pleasure, and I just wanted to share with you guys, if you're interested in connecting with Brian, his contact info is going to be below in the description. And feel free to subscribe to our channel. We're going to be talking all kinds of things about revitalization and building in Augusta. Thank you so much for connecting. Thanks, Brian.
Yep, you bet.
Want to see more of Brian Hall's work? You may have caught some B-roll of the beautiful house that he did in the Champions Retreat area. You can click on this video next and see the full house tour. This is the house that was ADA compliant, and it's just breathtaking. And if you want to get in touch with Brian or connect with our team, click below in the descriptions and find Brian's information with Oakdale. And as always, subscribe to our channel. We look forward to seeing you next time.